welcome everyone. So we've got the debates next week, so we might as well do a recap of what's happened so far and bring everyone up to date of the past debate, present date coming up, and then the next debate that's also after that. Alright, so first debate would probably call a bit of a shambles the way it was done. Not only were candidates' mics turned off, we've also had candidates like Andrew Yang, who only got 3 minutes speaking time, being the least of all the candidates. You look at that, most people got about, top candidate Biden got 13 minutes, 10 minutes, more than 10 minutes than Yang. Everyone got on average about at least around 6 to 7 minutes on average. If not most of top 4, they got a ton of speaking time, so that's just not right. So hopefully these debates will be done in a better way. It's going to be done by a different media agency, so hopefully CNN, who is doing the next debate, is going to be a lot more fair rather than what NBC has done, and in a sense, they've tried to limit the candidate speaking time. But thank goodness it did put a lot of spotlight on Andrew Yang, and it has brought him a lot more attention. So sometimes, when someone tries to work against you, and then they actually end up helping you. So think about the irony of that. So that's the past debate. Everything's behind us. I'd say let's just focus on the next debate, and then hopefully he gets a lot more speaking time. Everyone's going to be much more aware of it. The candidates, like first debate, it was 10 candidates apiece. The second debate, it's also going to be 10 apiece, because there's just literally so many people who want to be president, which isn't a bad thing. Gives you the chance to go for a variety of candidates. So this one, it's a bit more spread. Like this time it's Sanders and Warren. Last debate you only had Warren being the top dog there, by far more popular than the second and third, whereas here you had Biden, Sanders, Buttigieg, and then Harris. So like four very popular people, and that might also have a bit of explanation why the speaking time for the top 4 here just happens to be allocated in a larger way. So I'd say you definitely benefit by having the less popular candidates in terms of your lineup. Like, I mean, it's good to it's good to have Biden, Sanders and all that in your debate, because people will just tune in just to watch them, and then they happen to see other candidates and they think, oh, actually what they're saying makes a lot of sense, so I actually want to listen to them as well. And then you have a possible conversion. But like, say this first debate, like most people might look at this and think there's actually not that many big hitters here, I don't really want to watch this debate. But this one here, you'll be thinking, oh, actually that one sounds really interesting, I'm going to tune into that one. And then you happen to see Yang and all those other people who you think, oh wow, they're actually not that bad, maybe I might consider voting for them. So it's kind of a hit or miss. It's pros and cons as well. So I would say it's good to have some big hitters, but here you had about like 4 of them. So it did crowd it out, and everyone else on the bottom got much less speaking time. Whereas here you had less big hitters, but the speaking time was more spread out. So depends. If you're a candidate, what would you prefer? Would you prefer the speaking time, or would you prefer, like this one, this night 2 probably got more people watching that, but night 1 you got more speaking time. So if you were the candidate, what would you pick? So like for me, I'd still probably pick night 2, because I think more people tune in here, just because of the popularity. Because I'm not too sure how many people will actually watch both debates, but I guarantee you night 2 had the most people watching compared to night 1. So let's look at the lineup. So here it's quite well spread. I do like the spread here because you've actually got, well actually this one's about, it's very similar to night 2 on the first debate, where you've got Sanders, Warren, Buttigieg, O'Rourke, and you know they'll be the four candidates who are going to be debating it out, trying to prove that they're better than the other. So actually I think this one actually favors Yang, because look here, you've only got Biden and Harris, and then, you know, Brooker might pull out his Spanish, and then, you know, yeah, like this is actually a really good debate opportunity, where Yang will actually get a lot more speaking time, because there's only 2 candidates, right, who are actually big hitters, while on this one here you've got about 4 candidates that are big hitters. So it's actually a reverse. So here you had 2, here you had 4. Yang was in the 4, and he got a lot less speaking time. So in a sense, Yang would actually be in this sense. So we can actually expect his speaking time to be on average at least 7 minutes. And you know, I think he will get that after what's already happened. And you are going to put, you know, a bit of a spotlight on this. So everyone's going to be like scrutinizing this heavily on the second debate. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, yep, you've got Biden, you've got Harris. I was like wondering, did they put Harris and Biden in the same debate again? So like Harris can just keep going after Biden? Because that first debate, she pulled quite a few zingers on Biden. So maybe they thought, oh, that's quite an interesting one. We'll just match them up. So I bet you Harris is gonna get quite a lot of speaking time. She's just one of those people that love to interrupt and then pull a lot of zingers. But apart from her and Biden, I think, you know, this gives a really good opportunity for Yang to really speak about what he wants to speak about. Everyone else is polling a lot lower, and you know, Biden does draw quite a lot of people. I would say this is definitely by far the more popular one though. Like Sanders and Warren, they're like, yeah, I think those two definitely will have a lot more attention. So in terms of this being the more popular, more watched debate, I'd say probably the case. But here I think this is a reverse. At least this time Yang's probably going to get a lot more speaking time. If this one doesn't turn out well, we've got the third debate coming up after that. And this will be, you know, this is actually a much harder debate to get into. You have to fulfill the 2 criterias of having enough donors and actually having at least 4 polls above 2%. So Yang has not qualified for this yet. He's got 3 polls that are in his favour. He needs 1 more, which I think getting that 1 more by that time should not be that difficult for him. He is getting more popular, and if he gets more airtime on the second debate, he might get enough voters, and in terms of percentage, to get over that line. So here we've got 2, 4, 6, 8 people through. These 2 will probably get through, so that'll be 10, and then possibly 1 or 2 more from here. So at max you'll have 12 people that will be able to make the next debates, but we're not sure. You know, those people, the polls aren't favouring them and the donors aren't favouring them. So I think Gabbard might make it, maybe because of the donations here. Like the donations don't seem high, and this one 13,000 at this stage is probably a bit low. So I'd say at max 12 people for the next debate. They probably limit it to 10. So I'd say this is where the cutoff is going to be. So yeah, definitely let me know what you think about the current situation. What do you expect for the second debate? It's definitely going to be quite an interesting one. But yeah, I think in my view, Yang's definitely going to get a bit more speaking time. So I definitely look forward to it. Not long to go. And I suspect he's going to be quite well prepared. Having never experienced a democratic, you know, presidential debate, and now it's his second one, I imagine he's, you know, well prepared, and I'll be quite interested to see how this goes. Will be an interesting matchup. Yeah, so it will be yeah, I'll definitely tune in, and hopefully I will do a video right after that debate, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, well, thanks for tuning in. Until next time.